Ladies and gentlemen, listen to me. The future doesn't belong to the doubters, the worriers, or the excuse makers. It belongs to the focused. It belongs to the person who wakes up with a dream, holds on to it like their life depends on it, and refuses, refuses, to let go. Now I know life will throw distractions at you. Social media will scream for your attention. Problems will try to drag you off course. People will tell you you can't do that. And if you're not careful, you'll start believing them. But if you want to achieve your biggest goals, you must protect your focus like a lion protects its territory. Shakur message: your dreams don't die because they're impossible. They die because you let go of them too soon. You stop chasing, you stop believing, you stop focusing. And the moment you lose focus, you start drifting toward mediocrity. But when you lock in, when you decide, I will not be moved, I will not be distracted, I will not quit until this is done, that's when you become unstoppable. His story illustration. Think about an archer aiming at a bullseye. The target is clear, but the wind is blowing. People are watching, and doubts are whispering in the back of their mind. But the archer doesn't shoot until they are locked in. And when they release, the arrow flies straight toward the goal. That's you. Your mind is the bow. Your goals are the target, and your focus is the aim. Call to action. So here's my challenge for you. Decide today, right now, that you will protect your focus like it's your greatest asset. Cut out the noise. Surround yourself with people who lift you higher. Set deadlines. Make sacrifices. Stay in the fight even when you get knocked down, because one day you will stand on the mountaintop of your dreams, and you will say, it was worth it. Every sacrifice, every late night, every moment I stayed focused was worth it. Now go, lock in, take aim, and hit your target. Focus is not something you casually hold on to. It's something you fiercely guard. In today's world, there are more distractions than ever before. Notifications buzzing, social media feeds calling your name, breaking news flashing across your screen. If you don't protect your focus, these things will rob you of your time, your energy, and your dreams. And here's the truth. Once your focus is gone, it's hard to get back. That's why you have to treat it like gold. When you're focused, you have clarity. You know exactly what matters and what doesn't, and that gives you power. You see, focus is like a laser beam. It doesn't scatter energy, it channels it. When you spread yourself too thin, you end up dabbling in everything and mastering nothing. But when you focus, you direct all your energy toward one target. That's when momentum builds, progress accelerates, and doors start to open. The people who win big in life are not the ones doing everything. They're the ones doing the right things consistently. They've learned how to say no to the noise so they can say yes to the vision. Protecting your focus means creating an environment that works for you, not against you. That might mean waking up earlier when the world is quiet, turning your phone on airplane mode during deep work, or limiting the time you spend with people who drain your energy. You can't stay sharp if you keep allowing interruptions. It's not about being rude, it's about respecting your own mission. If you let everyone and everything demand your attention, you're giving away the most precious resource you have, your concentration. It also means protecting your mental focus. Your thoughts are like seeds. Whatever you water will grow. If you constantly feed your mind with negativity, gossip, and fear, that's exactly what will grow in your life. But if you feed it with positivity, purpose, and discipline, you'll create an unstoppable mindset. Guard your mind from mental junk food the same way you guard your body from unhealthy food. What goes in will eventually come out in your actions. Another layer of protecting your focus is emotional discipline. Sometimes it's not the phone, the noise, or the people. It's you. Your emotions can pull you off track. frustration, boredom, or even excitement can cause you to drift away from your plan. That's why you must train yourself to stick to your commitments no matter how you feel. Feelings are temporary. Focus is a decision. You don't wait for the mood to be right. You create the mood by taking action. You've also got to understand that focus is a daily battle. It's not something you win once and then forget about. Every day, something or someone will try to steal your attention. And every day, you've got to stand guard. That means checking in with yourself, asking, is what I'm doing right now bringing me closer to my goals or pulling me further away? The moment you notice you've drifted, pull yourself back. Self-awareness is your shield. Finally, protecting your focus means valuing your time so much that you refuse to waste it. You can make more money. You can build more connections, but you can never get back time. Every second spent on something meaningless is a second stolen from something meaningful. When you truly understand that, you will protect your focus with the same intensity that a warrior protects their weapon. Because focus, my friend, is the weapon that wins battles. Distractions are silent dream killers. They don't destroy your vision in one big blow. They chip away at it, minute by minute, hour by hour, until you've lost weeks, months, or even years. Most people don't fail because they lack talent or resources. They fail because they never learned how to cut the distractions that keep stealing their attention. If you want to reach your biggest goals, you must recognize distractions for what they are: thieves in disguise. And you cannot negotiate with thieves. Cutting distractions means you have to be brutally honest about what's holding you back. Sometimes it's obvious, like spending hours scrolling on your phone or binge watching TV shows. But sometimes it's sneaky. It could be saying yes to too many social events, working on tasks that feel productive but don't actually move you forward, or allowing small emergencies to keep pulling you away from your priorities. Distractions are not always bad things. They can be good things that keep you from the best things. You must also understand that distractions aren't just external, they're internal. Your own thoughts can distract you. Worrying about the future, overthinking past mistakes, daydreaming instead of taking action. All of that keeps you from doing the work in front of you. Your mind loves to wander, but discipline forces it to return to the task at hand. That's why focus is a skill and cutting distractions is a discipline. You train yourself to stay present and engaged. Another truth is that not all distractions are accidental. Some are designed to keep you hooked. Social media apps are built to grab your attention. Advertisements are engineered to pull your focus, and even certain people know exactly how to pull you into their drama. If you're not intentional, these forces will control your time without you even realizing it. That's why you need clear boundaries, time limits, do not disturb hours, and places where work is sacred. Sometimes cutting distractions means cutting people. That's a hard truth, but it's necessary. You can't keep chasing your dreams while staying tied to people who constantly pull you into gossip, negativity, or nonsense. If someone doesn't respect your focus, they don't respect your future. And you are not obligated to carry every relationship forward into the next chapter of your life. Protect your energy like it's currency, because it is. You also have to learn how to say no without apology. Every yes you give to a distraction is a no to your goals. People may get upset. They may think you've changed. They're right. You are changing. You're evolving into someone who values their vision more than other people's approval. And that's not selfish. That's necessary for success. If you try to please everyone, you'll end up pleasing no one, especially yourself. Finally, cutting distractions requires creating a focused environment before you even start working. That means preparing your space, removing temptations, and setting yourself up for success. If you sit down to work with 20 open tabs, your phone next to you, and notifications on, you've already lost the battle. Set the stage for focus. Make it easy to do the right thing and hard to do the wrong thing. That's how you make progress, not just by wanting it, but by engineering it. Negative voices will always be there. Sometimes they're loud, sometimes they're subtle, but they're always present. They'll tell you you're not good enough, not smart enough, not experienced enough. They'll remind you of every failure you've ever had, every mistake you've ever made, every time you fell short. If you're not careful, you'll start carrying those voices with you like a backpack full of bricks, and they'll weigh you down until you can't move forward. Your first line of defense is deciding that you will not believe them. Here's the truth. Most of those voices don't come from you. They come from people who gave up on their own dreams. People will project their limitations onto you. They will try to talk you out of your vision because they couldn't achieve theirs. They'll say, be realistic. But what they really mean is, be limited like me. If you're going to do something extraordinary, you have to separate your identity from their opinion. But let's be honest, sometimes the loudest negative voice is your own. That inner critic can be ruthless, constantly whispering reasons why you should quit. It'll say you're too late, too far behind, too inexperienced. And the dangerous thing is that your inner voice sounds exactly like you, so it's easy to believe. That's why you must learn to challenge it. Ask yourself, is this thought helping me or hurting me? Is it based on facts or fear? You don't have to believe everything you think. Refusing to believe the negative voices doesn't mean ignoring reality. It means refusing to be ruled by fear. Yes, you acknowledge the challenges. Yes, you see the obstacles, but you also choose to see the possibilities. You choose to believe that your effort, your learning, and your persistence can change the outcome. This isn't blind optimism, it's courageous realism. One of the best ways to fight those voices is to surround yourself with a louder core of positive voices. Find mentors who believe in you. Connect with people who are striving for greatness themselves. Read books, listen to talks, and fill your mind with stories of people who overcame the odds. When you hear enough voices saying, you can, it becomes easier to drown out the ones saying, you can't. You must also learn to turn negative voices into fuel. Let every doubt, every criticism, you'll never make it, become another log on your fire. There's a powerful energy in proving people wrong, not out of spite, but out of determination. When someone says you can't, let it echo in your mind as motivation. Watch me. That mindset turns negativity into momentum. And remember, you control the volume dial in your life. You can turn down the voices of fear and turn up the voices of faith. You can turn down the doubters and turn up your own belief. Every day, you decide which channel you're tuned into, and when you consistently choose the frequency of confidence, resilience, and vision, the negative voices lose their power over you. Commitment is not a feeling, it's a decision. Too many people treat their goals like a casual hobby, something they work on when it's convenient, when they feel like it. That's why they never see big results. Full commitment means you decide that quitting is not on the table. It means you burned the ships, so there's no way back to the old life. Once you've decided, you move forward with everything you've got. No hesitation, no halfway effort, no exit plan. When you commit fully, your goals stop being something you want and start being something you must have. There's a big difference between wanting and committing. Wanting says, it would be nice if this happened. Committing says, I will make this happen no matter what it takes. That shift in mindset changes the way you work, the way you think, and the way you respond to obstacles. You stop asking, can I do this? And start asking, how will I do this? Full commitment demands sacrifice. You can't keep everything from your old lifestyle and expect to step into a new one. It might mean giving up certain habits, certain comforts, or even certain relationships that don't align with your vision. That's the price of commitment. And yes, it's expensive, but it's always worth it because nothing great was ever built on convenience. You either pay the price of discipline now or the price of regret later. When you're fully committed, you also build resilience automatically because you've already decided that quitting isn't an option. Setbacks don't break you, they shape you. You may get knocked down, but you get back up faster. You treat failures as feedback, not as final verdicts. This is why committed people are dangerous in the best way. They're not just skilled, they're relentless. Another thing about commitment, it simplifies decision making. When you've already decided that your goal is non-negotiable, you don't waste time wondering whether to take action. You just take it. You don't need constant motivation because your commitment is your compass. Even on days when you're tired or uninspired, you move forward because the decision to act has already been made. Committing fully also means showing up at 100% even when no one is watching. It's easy to give your all when people are cheering you on, but real commitment is what you do in the dark, when the work is lonely, when no one is posting about it on social media. The results you want will be built in those hidden hours, not in the highlight reels. Finally, full commitment creates momentum. The more consistent your action, the more progress you make. The more progress you make, the more your belief grows. And the more your belief grows, the harder it becomes to stop you. That's the cycle commitment creates, a self-reinforcing loop that turns ordinary people into unstoppable forces. You cannot hit a target you cannot see. That's why clarity is the foundation of achievement. Too many people say they want success, but they can't define it. They say they want more money, but they don't know how much or why. They say they want a better life, but they've never described what that life actually looks like. Without clarity, you're just wandering. You might be busy, but you're not necessarily moving toward your dream. Clarity is power because it gives your mind a direction. When you know exactly what you're aiming for, every decision becomes easier. You can quickly identify what helps you move forward and what pulls you off track. Without clarity, everything looks like an opportunity, and that's dangerous. Not every opportunity is meant for you. The clearer your vision, the easier it is to say no to the wrong things and yes to the right ones. Having clarity means you can measure progress. If your goal is vague, you'll never know if you're getting closer. But if your goal is specific, I will write 50,000 words by June 1st, or I will increase my income by $20,000 this year. You can track it, adjust your strategy, and celebrate milestones along the way. Clarity turns a dream into a plan, and a plan into measurable action. Clarity also builds confidence. When you can picture your target vividly, your brain starts believing it's possible. You begin to see yourself living in that reality. That mental image becomes a blueprint for your actions. Instead of hesitating, you move with purpose. Instead of second guessing, you trust your direction. People who seem unstoppable aren't necessarily more talented. They just know exactly where they're going. To get clarity, you have to dig deep. Ask yourself, if I could wave a magic wand and achieve my dream, what would it look like? What would my days look like? Who would I be with? Where would I live? What would my work feel like? The more detail you can give your vision, the stronger its pull on you. Vague goals have weak pull. Detailed visions have magnetic force. Another reason clarity matters is because it inspires other people to help you. If you tell someone, I want to be successful. They have no idea how to support you. But if you say, I want to open a fitness studio in my city by next year, suddenly people can connect you with the right contacts, resources, and ideas. Clarity doesn't just mobilize your own actions, it mobilizes the world around you. And here's the truth: clarity doesn't come from sitting still and waiting for inspiration. It comes from asking hard questions, writing things down, and taking action, even if your first steps aren't perfect. Every move you make gives you feedback, and that feedback sharpens your vision. The more you move, the clearer things become. Action feeds clarity, and clarity fuels action. The people around you are either a propeller or an anchor. There's no middle ground. They're either helping you rise or holding you down. You cannot expect to soar if you spend your time with people who are content to crawl. If you're serious about achieving your biggest goals, you must intentionally surround yourself with people who push you forward, challenge you to grow, and refuse to let you settle for average. When you're around high-performing, high-thinking individuals, something powerful happens. You start raising your standards without even realizing it. Their work ethic, their mindset, their ambition. It's contagious. If they're reading, learning, and taking action, you'll feel pulled to do the same. That's the beauty of the right environment. It makes the habits of success feel natural instead of forced. But here's the hard truth. This also means you have to limit your time with people who drain your energy, the ones who always complain but never take action, the ones who tell you to be realistic because your dreams make them uncomfortable. These people may care about you, but they're not helping you grow. And if you keep absorbing their negativity, you'll start shrinking your vision to match their comfort zone. Surrounding yourself with the right people also means seeking out mentors. You need people who have already walked the path you're on, people who can save you from mistakes and push you through tough moments. A mentor's belief in you can sometimes carry you through when your own belief starts to fade. They can see strengths in you that you can't yet see in yourself. It's not just about mentors. It's also about peers who challenge you. You want friends who won't let you slack off, people who ask, did you finish what you said you were going to do? People who cheer for your wins, but also call you out when you're making excuses. These are the allies who will keep you honest and keep you moving. And here's the thing: being around the right people requires humility. You can't walk into a room of achievers acting like you already know everything. You have to be willing to learn, to listen, to be the least experienced person in the group. That's where growth happens, when you're not the smartest in the room, but you're hungry enough to become better. Finally, when you're intentional about your circle, you'll notice a shift in your own thinking. The conversations change, the energy changes, the possibilities you see in front of you multiply. Because when you surround yourself with people who are moving forward, you can't help but move forward too. They lift you up without even trying, simply because they live at a higher standard. A dream without a deadline is just a wish. You can talk about it, think about it, and even plan for it, but until you put a date on it, there's no real urgency to act. Deadlines force you to move. They transform someday into today. They put healthy pressure on you, and that pressure is what creates momentum. Without it, it's too easy to keep saying, I'll start tomorrow, until years have passed and the opportunity is gone. When you set a deadline, you create a countdown in your mind. That ticking clock changes the way you work. Suddenly, you're more focused, more intentional, more aware of how you spend each minute. You stop wasting time on things that don't matter because you can see the finish line ahead. That sense of urgency doesn't stress you. It fuels you. It keeps you from falling into the trap of procrastination. Deadlines also help you break down your big goal into manageable steps. If you know you have 6 months to complete a project, you can divide it into monthly, weekly, and daily actions. This structure keeps you from feeling overwhelmed and gives you a clear path forward. You don't just say, I have a goal. You say, here's exactly what I'm doing today to get there. That's how progress becomes consistent instead of sporadic. Another benefit of deadlines is accountability. When you tell someone else your deadline, or better yet, multiple people, you invite positive pressure. You know others are watching. You know they'll ask how it's going. That little push can be the difference between finishing on time and letting your goal slip through the cracks. Deadlines make your goal public in your own mind, and that alone increases your commitment. Some people fear deadlines because they think they'll create too much stress. But the truth is, deadlines actually reduce long stress. Without them, you're constantly thinking about your goal without making enough progress. That constant mental load wears you down. But with a deadline, you work in focused sprints, you see tangible results, and you can actually rest when you've earned it because you know you're on track. Setting deadlines also teaches you speed and efficiency. Without one, you'll stretch a simple task into days or weeks because there's no reason to finish sooner. But with a hard date in place, you stop overthinking, you stop perfecting endlessly, and you start producing. You realize that done is often better than perfect because you can improve as you go, but you can't improve something that doesn't exist yet. And here's the most powerful thing about deadlines. They create momentum beyond the goal itself. Once you hit one target, the confidence and energy from that win carry over to the next. You start stacking victories. You start seeing yourself as someone who follows through, who gets things done, who moves when it's time to move. That's how you build a track record of success, one deadline at a time.